All right. So in the last video, we started setting up our actual analytics in our app. We worked on the app view and the category list view. We're just going to keep running down the list here and add analytics to everything else. In this video, we're going to start with the chat view. I will do the chat view with you guys. This is one of our biggest views, most complex views. We're going to have a lot of analytics on the chat view, especially because this is like the core feature of our app. We really want to know exactly how users are using this feature so that if we make any tiny tweaks or changes, we get that data. We can see that more chats are sent, less chats are sent, which avatars are being talked to, and all that good data. Let's jump into the chat view and get started here. And I'm going to create a second editor on the right. And then down here, I will add, let's do it at the bottom of the chat view. I'm going to add a create event, throw a little snippet. And now we have all these events. On the left, let's start going down the view. We're going to need to pull in the log manager. Call it log manager. And let's see what we need to tag. So firstly, it's a new screen. Let's go ahead and add a .screen appear analytics. We'll call this the chat view. And looks like we got a load avatar, load chat. These are separate methods, so I'm going to make them separate events when we get to them. And then listen for chat, we'll also have some analytics on that. Let's go down and actually see the code. Load current user is synchronous. It's just pulling the current user. We're going to put some analytics in the current user later, so I'm not super concerned with what's going on in here. There's no possibility for this to fail unless the current user is nil. So I don't think we need analytics on that. Load avatar. So we're going to need a start, success, and fail. Let's do case here, load avatar start. And I'll copy and paste. Success and fail. Let's do start, copy and paste, success and fail. Let's see, we can rename these. This will be renamed to chat view underscore load avatar start. Let's copy and paste. And let's just go success and fail. We know the failures are going to have errors, so we'll pass in an error. We know that we can get that error, so case.fail, let error. We'll go ahead and return the error.event parameters. And then on success, for the success of loading the avatar, we now get this avatar model. So let's also pass in here the avatar of type avatar model. And so on success, we can say success, let avatar, and we'll return the avatar.event parameters. Let's go ahead and add it to our code with the log manager.track event. This will be the load avatar start. Here we'll have the load avatar success. We'll pass in the avatar. And then in the error, we'll have the load avatar fail with the error. And I'll delete the error printout here. And we should now also be able to change the failure to a severe analytic, so it goes to our Crashlytics. Again, the user hopefully never gets to the chat screen where they can't load the avatar. If that happens a lot, we're going to have to refactor some code, figure out what's going on. Load chat, we're going to do the same thing. So up here, let's go ahead and put it down here. We'll say case load chat start. I'll copy and paste. We're going to go success. We're going to go failure. The failure is going to have an error. And the chat is going to be a chat model. The chat model is optional. In case there is no chat, it would be nil. So let's pass in here the success case is a chat of type chat model. We'll make it optional. Let's copy and paste these. Do load chat start, load chat success, load chat fail. Let's see, chat view, load chat, start. Let's go success, and let's go fail. For the failure, we'll also do case load chat fail, let error. For the chat, we'll do case.load chat success, let chat. We'll return the chat.event parameters. And I guess we don't have that yet. Let's Command Shift O. Let's jump into the chat model. And in here, I guess we don't have event parameters. All right. Let's add, let's go to our avatar model. I'll copy the event parameters from here. Let's go to our chat and let's prefix these with chat underscore. All right. Chat. And let's just take our coding keys, ID, user ID, avatar ID, date created, and date modified. Again, if I was building this app from the start, I would just start creating these every time I create coding keys so that we always have these set up. Back in the chat view, let's go ahead and say event parameters here, and it will be optional. That's totally fine. For the failure, now the failure on the load chat is not a problem. That is actually a normal situation if we get to the chat screen and there is no chat yet. So I'm not going to make the load chat fail an error, but I will call it a .warning just in case, so that we can just kind of highlight in our console at least that this is something that's maybe not perfect. It might be totally fine, but it can't hurt. If that gets annoying, I can always just switch this out later. Let's add these events in our code. So here we have the load chat start. Here we have the load chat success, pass in the chat, delete the print statement, and then one more, load chat fail, pass in the error, delete the print statement. Get chat ID, we don't need an analytic on this. This will just be throw an error if there's no chat. These errors where they're thrown is where we're going to catch the errors and add them to our analytics. All right, listen for chat messages. This is our chat listener. I'm going to add two analytics. One when we attach the listener, so I can track that the listener is getting attached, and one on the failure. I'm not going to do a success here because this listener is going to pump out the new chat values every single time the chat triggers. And so in here, this would be, if there was 1,000 chats, that analytic would trigger 1,000 times. It's mostly not going to be relevant for us. So we're just going to do a start and a fail on this one. Let's go here. We'll say case load messages start. And we'll do load messages fail. Pass in an error. We'll pass in our error here. Copy and paste. Let's go load messages start, load messages fail. Let's clean this up a little bit. Chat view, load messages start, load messages fail. For the fail, we know it's going to be a case dot load messages fail let error. If this fails, it is pretty bad. So let's make sure that's a severe analytic as well. Let's call the log manager dot track event dot load messages start, and then one down here we'll do load messages fail, pass in the error. Scroll view section, this is just our UI. Message did appear, each cell as it appears, we track it, mark the message as seen. This is fine. I don't want to trigger that every single cell appears. That's a crazy amount of analytics. But what we can do is trigger an analytic here in case this ever fails. So let's go to case mark chat message as seen failing. So we'll say case message seen fail. And we'll add an error here as well. Message seen fail. Let's go chat view, message seen fail. So let's pass in here the message seen fail let error. And we know it is a bad action, so we will come here and call severe. Let's go ahead and log manager, track, event.message seen fail, pass in the error. Delete this. Our text field section looks fine. Our message is delayed. That is fine logic as well. Profile modals, fine. Timestamp view is fine. Send message pressed. We're going to need a lot of analytics for this one. All right, so let's take it one at a time and let's just go chronologically down the function. So at the top, every time it's pressed, let's go ahead and trigger an analytic that it is started. So I'll say case send chat start. Now, every time we send this message, I think I do want to add some extra parameters so that even though my analytic will tell me that the send chat was start, I want to know which chat this was. I want to know what chat this was for and what avatar this is for. So we already loaded the chat and the avatar at the top of the screen. We have these at state values for them. So let's also just pass in those data points as we send our message so that we can filter our messages by avatar, by chat ID, etc. So we'll pass in a chat of type chat model, which is optional, as well as an avatar of type avatar model. And is the avatar model optional? Let's find out. At the top here, avatar model is optional. So let's just make it optional here as well. All right, I'll create another analytic here. Send chat start. Chat view send chat start. I guess we should actually call this send message start, send message start, and then chat view send message start. This will be an analytic. We need to now get the data points from both the chat and the avatar. So here, let's create a new case. We'll say case.send chat, send message start, let chat, let avatar. Let's say var dict equals the chat.event parameters, otherwise a blank dictionary, and then we will call dict.merge, and let's merge it with the other avatar dictionary. So here we can merge the original dictionary, which is this, with the avatar.event parameters. This cannot be optional, so we'll make this otherwise blank. And now when we merge these two, we need to give it some logic for if both of these have the same key, how do we unique the two dictionaries as we merge them together? Now, we know that these are not going to have the same keys because we prefix our chat events with chat underscore and our avatar events with avatar underscore. That's purposely why we did it. Compiler obviously doesn't know that. So here we're just going to click enter. This will be the existing value, and this will be the new value. So this existing value comes from the original chat parameters, and the new value would come from here. And this closure is now asking us if these have the same key, which one do you want to use? And I think the chat data is always more important than the avatar data here. So we're just going to return the existing value if the keys were to overlap. Another way to write this in shorthand would be dict.merge. We can do the avatar.event parameters, and then we can do uniquing keys. We can open the brackets here. This will be the existing, and then the new value we're not using, and then I can say in, and I can return the existing. Just another quick way that we can write the same line of code. Well, definitely a little bit more confusing when we break it out like this. We're going to be merging possibly two different data models a bunch as we create more analytics around our code. So let's create an extension to do this a little bit easier. So we have a dictionary, and then we have another optional dictionary here. And when we merge them, we want to always take the existing. So I'm just going to copy that. Let's open up our navigator and let's jump into the dictionary plus ext. Let's create a new extension of dictionary. In here, we're going to, just like up here, we have a mutating function to change the dictionary in place. We'll create a mutating function to merge the other values. So when you merge, we're going to pass in another dictionary. So we'll call this other, we'll make it of type dictionary as well. But I'll make this dictionary optional because we saw that it is optional when we go and create these sometimes. Let's give this an external name with an underscore so we don't need to say other when we call it. And here, let's just say if let other. So if there is a dictionary, then let's go ahead and dict.merge, paste this in here. This will be the other dictionary, and we'll take the existing value. Because this is going to be reusable, I'm going to put this on multiple lines so that it is a little bit easier to read. The dictionary is actually now self.merge. And let's just pass in a value here so this is the existing and the new value. Let's pass in a value for maybe conflict, take existing of type bool, and we'll set it equal to true. So if there's a conflict between the keys of the two dictionaries, we'll say if conflict take existing, take the existing, otherwise new. Not that we're going to ever write that because it's always going to be true, but now we should be able to call merge a little bit more seamlessly in our code. Let's jump back to the chat view. And so now I will just call dict.merge, And we should be able to take our new value here and we'll just go avatar.event parameters. Go ahead and return the dictionary. Let's go back to two screens here. And let's go ahead and add log manager, send track event dot send message start. We'll pass in the chat, we'll pass in the avatar. All right. Get user ID, that's fine. I don't need analytics on that. Text validation helper. If this fails, it'll throw the error down at the bottom. Let's go ahead and create a case send message fail. I will pass in the error. I will copy and paste this, send message fail. Send message fail. Now, again, let's take the error message. We'll say .send message fail, let error. Now, send message fail might be a normal situation, right? Because we know that if the validation is getting caught, that is actually a normal error. So if we really wanted to break out the errors, we could do multiple do catch statements here, but I think that's overkill for our code base. So we're just going to make the send message fail a warning and not a severe error. So we'll check those warnings as they come through. Let's go ahead and add that. So down here, I will say log manager, track event dot send message fail, pass in the error. All right. Create a new chat. We're definitely going to want some analytics on that, although this is its own function. So we'll just add those analytics when we get there. If this throws, we're going to catch it with our failure error. And now we're down to our create user chat. We have a try await here. So once this succeeds, I'll throw a success here. And then we have another try await. So when this succeeds, I'll throw another success here. And then another one after this. So a couple different success analytics. This way we can see where this is actually failing along the lines. If we track this as a funnel, we'll be able to see all the different steps in the sending a chat message. So add chat message here is uploading the user chat. Let's create a new case for send message. This will be send message sent. And then let's see, case down here, we have the text is actually generated by the response. We'll say send message response. And then case here, we're uploading the response back to Firebase. So we'll do case send message response sent. And I think we should add some data on each of these as well. So for add chat message, we have the chat, we have the message, and then the avatar. So I'll take this, I'll paste it here, and let's also add in the message of type chat message model. So this is the new chat message that we're going to add in. This is the new message that we're going to add in here. And then I think the response, we're going to have the new chat message model here. And then we'll have it after here as well. So let's copy this little closure here. And we'll do it for all three of these. Send all that data in. So let's copy this, paste it 3 times. Send chat sent, send message response, response sent. Chat view, send message. And let's just say sent, send message response, and then send message response sent. All right, we have all 3 of these that we need to merge. So let's come down here and create a new case for .send message sent. Let chat, let avatar, let message, comma. We have send message response, which I will copy this closure. If you double click the open parentheses, and I will paste it here. And then we're going to do send message response sent. And again, I will copy this, paste it here. Go ahead and create a dictionary, set equal to the chat.event parameters, otherwise a blank dictionary. We'll call dict.merge. We'll merge it with the avatar.event parameters, and dict.merge. We'll merge it with the message.event parameters. Event parameters, which we do not have. Let's jump into our avatar model. Let's copy our event parameters. Let's jump into our chat message model. And let's paste in some event parameters. Let's go ahead and click in here and Control Shift down arrow. Let's click over and then replace these with message. And then here we're going to have the ID of type ID, chat ID, author ID, author ID, content. Now the content is another type, AI chat model. So let's hold off on that for a second. Seen by IDs, I'll paste here, seen by IDs. Seen by IDs is going to be an array. So let's just call here dot sorted. We'll sort the array and then we'll join them with a comma so that it's just an array of IDs. I'm calling sorted so that they always sort in alphabetical order. So that if it's the same array, even if it's out of order, it'll all get in order. And that'll be better for just reading the data later. And then we have date created with date created. We want to do the content now. So the content is going to be AI chat model. So let's copy our event parameters here. Let's jump into an AI chat model. And in here, let's go ahead and add in the event parameters. So here I will say AI chat underscore, and let's copy that twice. It looks like only twice. And we don't have custom coding keys here, I guess because it's the plain, but let's go ahead and add coding keys. Let's give them a raw value of string. And so now we can do coding keys dot role is the role.raw value. And the message is going to be the message string. All right, so now let's go back to our chat message model. Let's make this dictionary a variable so that we can mutate it, and we'll call dict.merge. And we'll merge it with the content.event parameters as well. Now let's go back to our chat view and let's merge in the event parameters from the message and then return the dictionary. So tons of data that we're going to send in all of these analytics. Not that we're going to need all that data, but we're going to have it. And I'd rather have it set up like this, and then later I can always just either stop sending these or send less data if it's too much data. But I've basically never worked at a company where they've said, you're sending too much data. Almost all successful companies would rather have more data and not need it. Because if you're working at a big successful company, the cost to get your analytics up and running is so low compared to the revenue of a company that it is almost always worth just the extra data. A startup might be a little different. And if in that case, if we ever got to a situation where these events are too much, I can just start changing all these events to maybe the .info type so that they don't actually push to our analytics services. But for now, let's just keep rocking and rolling here. Let's add these real quick to our function. So after we successfully upload, we'll call log manager, track event dot, this will be send message sent. We'll pass in the chat, pass in the avatar, and we'll pass in the message here from right here. I'm going to copy this and let's come down to after we generate text, we'll say send message response. And we'll pass in the chat, we'll pass in the avatar. And now we're going to pass in the response. I guess we take the response and convert it to a message here. So let's just move this after here. This doesn't throw any error, so it's basically the same analytic. We'll take the new AI message and paste it here. And then one more after this for the full success, we're going to do response sent, which will be the exact same data. Keep it moving here, create a new chat. All we need is a start analytic because this we're just going to throw out of the function. And then we already are catching the failure up here. So we'll say case create chat start. And our analytics are getting crazy on this screen here. Create chat start. Chat view, create chat start. And there's no special parameters here, and it's just a default analytic. So let's go ahead and say log manager track event dot create chat start. On chat settings pressed, let's create an analytic for that. Case chat settings pressed. And while we're doing this, let's just finish up the last couple functions here. So report chat, we're going to have a start. a fail, and a success. So okay, case report chat start, reports chat success and fail. And we know that if it's a failure, we're going to get an error. We also have delete chat. So case delete chat start. We'll do a success and we'll do a fail. The failure will also have an error. And lastly, we have on avatar image press. We'll say case. Let's call this avatar image pressed. And let's pass in the avatar on that one for the avatar model. We'll make it optional. Let's open up let's make this wider real quick. And now we have these couple cases to finish up here. After create chat, we have these cases. So let's go and paste them here. I will click in here and let's go Control Shift down arrow, make this a period, and let's delete all of these. I will copy this and just paste it on all of these. And let's go ahead and line them up. Get them in line, guys. I know it's annoying. I know it seems stupid and it's annoying, but staying organized here really does help in the long run. Chat view, let's call this chat settings pressed. Chat view, report chat start. Let's copy, paste. Report chat success, report chat fail. Let's go delete chat start, delete chat success, delete chat fail. And lastly, we have the avatar image pressed. Forgot the colons after these, so let's add a colon here for all of these. And let's just come in here, Control Shift down arrow, and just backspace. Cool. Let's see, the failure should have errors and the avatar has pressed. So let's put in our failures here. So we have case report chat fail, let error. Case.delete chat fail, let error. And for the avatar image, we can put it into this case. We'll say here .avatar pressed, let avatar. Avatar not pressed, we have an optional and a non-optional. Let's just make them both optional for now. So load avatar success will just be optional as well. And this would then have a question mark here. And now we just need our failures. So our two new failures are report chat and delete chat. These are severe, so we'll put them down here. Report chat and delete chat. Let's add them to our code real quick. Where are we? Log manager, track event, event.chat settings pressed. Let's go report chat start. Report chat success. And down here we can do report chat fail, pass in the error. We'll go delete chat start. Let's go to delete chat success, and let's go delete chat error, pass in the error. Last but not least, avatar image pressed. We'll pass in the avatar at the top of the screen. Cool. Back to full screen here. That was a lot of analytics. 23 analytics for one screen, plus the appear and disappear. But this is our most complex screen, and now we're going to have data on every single thing that is happening in our chat screen. So it seems like a lot, it seems like overkill, and very well it might be. Very well, we might run the app for a little bit, and we might say, you know what, a lot of these are not very meaningful. I don't really need them in my analytics. And then in our next release, we can just come up here and just comment a bunch of these out so that we have them if we need them to bring them back, and we just don't send them to the analytics. Otherwise, I can just maybe switch them out to become info types rather than analytic types so that they print to the console, but they don't actually send to our analytics services. Bunch of things I can play with here, but generally speaking, this is the setup that I want for every single screen, because now I know all of the functions that are failing, and I can create funnels in my analytics services. So I can create a chart. So for example, for any of these really, for load avatar success, I'll create a chart in Mixpanel later that'll show us how many times start happened and then how many times success happened, or start versus fail. And now I can see that 1% of the time is failing, and that's fine. Or I could see 40% of the time it's failing, and that's really bad. I can also see something like in send message here. If the user's sending it, but there's a problem with the AI, maybe it'll send the user message, and then maybe the AI response never triggers. So now I'll immediately know in my code, all right, well, the user message is sending, but the AI is not receiving the response. So that's where the bug is in my app. And so when I set up all these funnels in Mixpanel, I'll visibly be able to see exactly where the drop-off points are going to be. We're also just throwing in so much data into these so that in addition to just saying that the chat screen is loading, we're going to have data on which avatars are loading, which avatars are users actually chatting with. And all that is going to help us actually make business decisions as we build out this app in the future. Lastly, we added a bunch of severe analytics. So now all of these, if these are actually happening, we're going to get all these logs in our Crashlytics console as non-fatal errors. And at a high level, I'll be able to know if one of these tick up a lot and if there's something really going wrong in my application. All right, that's going to be it for this video. It was honestly, it's annoying and kind of stressful to create all these events. This was our most complex screen, so the most events we're going to have in any screen. But we do have a couple more videos of doing this left. We're going to basically just run down the rest of this list here. A lot of these screens are much simpler than this one, so it'll only take us a couple minutes to get through a bunch of these screens. But this is the general situation that we're going to set up on all of our screens now going forward. Again, I am attaching the full source code to every single video. So if you don't want to go through this with me, you can just go ahead a couple of videos and then download the source code and you'll get all the analytics in that updated version. But if not, it's only going to take us maybe 1 or 2 more videos and then we'll finish up the analytics here. Let's go ahead and Option Command C. I will do a feature and let's say add analytics. And what did we call the last one? In our last one, we said add analytics progress 1. I'll call this add analytics progress 2. Let's stage it. Let's commit it. Push it on up to GitHub, and I'll see everybody in the next video.